Okay, I'm sorry to be late, and I want to thank everyone for being here. And first, the parents who are here today, courage, their advocacy, their dedication to make change happen. I thank Fair Play, Common Sense Media, and Leading Disorder Coalition for being here. Particular thanks go to the senators who are here with me, Senator Blumenthal and Blackburn, Senator Markey. We also thank Senators Markey and Cassie. They've done tremendous work, day in, day out, month in, month out, to get us here. Now today we're here to talk about something not just huge in significance, but hopefully also the impact. Protecting our kids from the risk of social media and online safety. Right now, I just came directly from the Senate floor where I announced as Majority Leader I will be putting COSA and COPA on the floor this week, with the first step starting today. Over the course of many months, I've met with families from New York, families all over the country, some in this room, that have gone through undoubtedly the worst thing parents have ever now, losing a child comes with a level of pain and suffering so terrible, too terrible, to comprehend fully. No one would fault these parents if they were treated into their shells, warn their children, process their grief in private. But these amazing people here did just the opposite. Instead of retreating into darkness, they lit a candle for others. That's what the scriptures say. When something horrible and unjust befalls you, the natural human reaction is to curse the darkness. That's normal. These folks lit a candle. They lit a candle and worked so doggedly to ensure that other parents don't have to endure the pain they did and still do every minute. They made their children's memories a blessing. In the form of legislation that would protect other children from the risks of online platforms and of social media. They have shown unimaginable and heroic-like strength. To me, this is personal. When I talk to these parents, I see the pictures of my children. As a grandfather, I think of my kids, my grandkids, and it just shatters your heart. Unlike decades past, ensuring our kids' safety today means ensuring their safety online. To protect kids from online bullying and exploitation. Social media can do a lot of good things, but it also can lead to serious health risks that we cannot ignore. On this issue, Congress desperately needs to catch up. So this week, the Senate will vote on kids' online safety. The information all senators are announcing this week, the Senate will take up 2 bipartisan bills to protect our kids while they use the internet. Kids Online Safety Act, or COSA, and the Children's and Teen Online Protection Act, or COPA. It's no secret, folks, as you know, this is a long and bumpy road. Long and bumpy road. But one thing I always knew for sure is that it would be worth it. Many of you know that over the years we have tried different methods of passing these bills. During the NDA, the end of year packages, people behind me tried to attach these bills over and over again, but they always been blocked. We were unsuccessful in trying to pass it on unanimous consent because this is such a common sense issue with such wide support. This is not a partisan issue. It's a personal issue. So many in this room. So the need to act is clear. Don't believe me if you don't want to, but ask the folks here today. They deal with that devastating reality day in and day out. That's what essence pictures. COSA and COPA are good and necessary steps in the right direction. COSA ensures the social media companies have a duty to make sure that their product is not causing harm to kids and teenagers. COPA 2 ensures that personal information for our children and teenagers are protected, can't fall into the hands of their actors. Now the problems online are another always solved. But this is a step, good step, in the right direction, protecting children's disease. And to the parents and families here today, thank you, thank you, thank you for all you've done. And for what's right, you've lit your candles for others. Connection, touched by your stories, privately in my office. I promise that that I get this done and bring it to the floor. Today, I kept my promise. And you will save countless lives. Country, including me. Not as a majority leader or a senator, but as a dad and a grandfather. Thank you, Lord.
We're now going to hear from Tracy Ann Bancroft, who is one of the great advocates who is responsible for this achievement today. Thank you to Senator Kumar. I know he has other obligations after we share the power with him. Thanks to you for all you have done.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. My name is Tracy Ann Bancroft. I'm from New Jersey, just outside of Philadelphia. And 3 years ago, this month, my son was hospitalized at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia for 35 days due to a critical life-threatening eating disorder. He was then hospitalized for 2 more months in Denver, Colorado, as it was the only place that would take a 12-year-old with multiple diagnoses during the pandemic. I'm here to support passing the legislation of the Kids Online Safety Act, KOSA, because I believe it's no coincidence that my son's critical illness emerged a year after I gave him a phone as a reward for getting straight A's in 5th grade. The pandemic isolated us all, and despite my efforts to teach him about online safety, I was proven wrong. While I'm not saying social media caused my son's illness, I am certain it was a major contributing factor. Social media algorithms knowingly promote harmful mental health content in return for boosted engagement and profits. In other words, social media has fueled a dramatic rise in youth psychiatric conditions. This behavior is unethical and it's predatory. It goes unchecked and unregulated until now. The average 13-year-old gets social media. The average 13-year-old gets on social media and without even directly searching for it, is subjected to self-harm and suicide content within 2.6 minutes. Eating disorders content is seen within 8 minutes. This occurs without even searching for it. Social media platforms are like the Wild West when it comes to our children's internet safety. Their predatory algorithms and tactics target our children for likes and views, which translate into their profits. The last legislation on internet safety for children was passed in 1998, over 25 years ago. That was before Facebook or even an iPhone was invented or existed. Recently, in my own home state of New Jersey, I've seen laws banning plastic bags and plastic straws cast bigger in less than a year or two. And although I support protecting the environment, I want to say, what are we doing for our kids? We need to ensure our kids are safe online. It may feel too late, but it's not too late to act. Just as laws mandated seatbelts and car seats, and in the 70s, tobacco ads were removed from television, especially during children's TV shows like cartoons. We must act to protect our children online. It's our duty as parents, and it is Congress's duty to protect their constituents, who include our children. My family and I urge Congress to vote yes on KOSA as drafted without any new amendments, please. We need this legislation passed urgently. I'm speaking on behalf of parents whose children face basically psychological warfare from social media platforms and big tech, And as parents, we can't protect them alone. We need your help. I'm here today, Bobby. My children are here with me. My son's doing really well. Thank you for your time. I'll introduce Ava Smithy. She's from advocacy and operations director at the Young People's Alliance. Thank you, Tracy, for that introduction. This morning, when I looked at my phone, I had a text message from one of my fellow advocates in Monterey. 6:45 this morning, it says moving to a vote in the Senate. I was happy, overcome with joy, evidently. And I thought, well, today I was supposed to urge Majority Leader Schumer to reach the floor. When am I supposed to say now? Other than thank you, of course. The obvious answer was to give my remarks to the House, but that's not where my mind went. It went to y'all, the advocates, the staff members, the lawmakers in this room, to all the people behind me who have poured their hearts into getting us this far, and who will continue to do so until we have a bill signed into law. I thought of the parents who have retold and relived the tragic losses of their children countless times, every day, multiple times a day. To the advocates who internalize the pain of these parents on behalf of them. And then I even thought of myself, who has retold the story of my own eating disorder countless times a day, over and over, every day. I've talked to people about how algorithms led me to eating disorder content, how leg counts led me to social comparison, and how beauty filters led me to body dysmorphia. And while I speak about this, while all of these parents speak about this, the American youth suffer from it. They spend more than 5 hours a day scrolling through content that convinces them their democracy is eroding, but their elected leaders do not care about the futures, which is evidently not true, as I stand here today. They consume videos that monetize their well-being, and their algorithms take a hold of them, as mine did to me, and escalate them from a meme created to help a generation cope with their political reality to suicide content and depression content. They take anything from worse to worse. And there is no autonomy in that day-to-day. There is no connection. But today was different. For us at least, today goes to move towards the floor. And we look back on all we have done to get this far. And we look to each other for strength. To relive these past few years just a couple times more, for just a little while longer. Today, instead of living the same day over and over again, we finally need to start thinking about tomorrow. We get to visualize a future where young people have control over their lives and parents don't live in fear. The time has come for big tech to be held accountable, to break our youth free from the sad day-to-day lives they have been living, attempting to survive. I am incredibly grateful and would like to thank the sponsors of the process, Senator Blumenthal and Senator Blackburn, for championing this effort over the years. To Majority Leader Schumer for prioritizing this legislation to protect children and families, even with limited time left. I would like to thank Representatives Golrakis and Representative Pastor for championing this legislation in the other chamber, and I would like to thank Sherwin Rogers for her commitment to advancing kids' online safety and data privacy. I know she cares enough about these issues, and her commitment is deep, and that she will advance this legislation before the end of July and before August recess. I urge the leaders of our country to vote yes on the Kids Online Safety Act, to put in place common safeguards that will protect children against an industry that refuses to police itself, so they can begin to think of tomorrow. And I would like to welcome Maureen, co-founder of David's Legacy Foundation and Parents SOS, and a personal inspiration to me. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Maureen Molak from San Antonio, Texas. I am the founder of David's Legacy Foundation and the co-founder of Parents SOS, an educational initiative created by bereaved families who have lost children as a result of social media harms. I lost my son David 8 years ago when he was just 16 years old. David died by suicide after months of relentless and threatening cyberbullying. The pain of his loss is constant. David was beloved. His basketball skills, his amazing recollection of sports stats, and his ability to absolutely dominate all of us in Monopoly are legendary. I miss him desperately. Those of us in Parents SOS came together to turn our pain into action and to advocate for laws protecting children online
line because no one family should have to suffer the way we have. The way forward is clear. It's called the Kids Online Safety Act, or COSA, a very popular bipartisan bill that will finally hold social media companies accountable for the severe harms their faulty products create. I am so grateful to the original sponsors of this bill, Senators Marsha Blackburn and Richard Blumenthal, who are here with us today, for their leadership on COSA and their unwavering dedication to making this bill into law. I'm also grateful to Senate Majority Leader Schumer, who also joined us today, for fighting doggedly to get this bill to the floor for a vote, which we've learned is finally happening this week. His commitment to this bill and to the safety of American children everywhere is laudable. This floor vote is a momentous occasion after a 2-year-long effort. Because with 70 Senate co-sponsors, it will pass. It seems our elected leaders have heard us, and they are ready to help. They are ready to save children's lives. I am elated. While I would do anything to have my son back, seeing this bill across the finish line is my second greatest wish. My only remaining ask when COSA comes to the Senate floor is that every single U.S. Senator get behind it and vote for it. We don't need every vote to make it law, but anyone who believes that children's well-being and safety should come before big tech's greed ought to put their mark on this historic legislation. COSA will be a huge step towards making online spaces safe for children, towards finally making them places of connection, learning, and growth, rather than dark places of harm and hurt and danger. But the only way that this will happen is if our government requires it, which it must do now by passing COSA without amendments in the Senate this week, and then advancing and passing it also without amendments in the House before the August recess. COSA would have saved David's life, and I know it will save hundreds, maybe thousands of other children too. We are closer than we've ever been before to passing this bill, and we couldn't have done it without our champions, Senators Blackburn, Blumenthal, and Schumer. Thank you again for all you've done in honor of our children's memories and for the well-being of millions of young people across our country. I would now like to introduce Senator Blumenthal.
Thanks so much, Maureen, and all of the incredible advocates who are here today. I'm going to begin by thanking Senator Schumer, who kept his word. He made a promise, and he kept his word, not just with words, but with his heart. And he made a commitment that he kept with passion and dedication. So I thank Senator Schumer. I want to thank Senator Blackburn, who has been a persevering and steadfast, incredibly insightful and strong partner. I couldn't imagine a better partner in this effort. It has been truly bipartisan. So one of the lessons here is, yes, bipartisanship is alive and well in the United States Senate. We can make democracy work. Today's step is a major one. It's a profoundly significant, in fact, monumental step, but it is another step in a continuing journey that we will need to pursue. And of course, I want to thank our staffs who have been persevering and persistent, and you know them, so I don't need to name them for you. But most of all, of course, today is about the parents and young people who opened their hearts, became the faces and voices of tragedy. They became the advocates who made it happen. And so there's another lesson in democracy here, which is that people who are driven by a cause can make their perseverance and patience through this long process. There are very few bills, in my experience in the Senate, that have been through such detailed scrutiny, insightful drafting, redrafting to take account of the interests and values that deserve to be considered, and arriving at a product that is worthy of passage in the United States. Was truly worthy of our approval. And colleagues participated in that process as well. So thank you all for being here today. I think we'll be together again on other occasions. And now I'd like to introduce Senator Blackburn, who has been absolutely critical to this.
Thank you, Senator Blumenthal, and indeed, he has been a wonderful teammate in this endeavor as we have worked tirelessly over the last few years to bring this to completion. He and his team, my team, have gotten to know all of these advocates and how grateful we are to each of the advocates for repeatedly coming to the Hill, taking the time to visit with members. That is why there are 70 names on this bill. And that is why we are going to be able to push this across the finish line. We are so grateful to the advocates because you really have brought your stories to bear on the importance of this and the necessity of making certain that the virtual space is going to be a safe space for young people. And we could not be at this point without you. And we're also appreciative to Senator Schumer for scheduling the vote. And I agree. We need it without amendments. We need the vote to happen quickly so that we can go ahead and move this across the finish line. You know, Senator Blumenthal and I really came to this legislation after a series of hearings that we did in Commerce Committee. And as we looked at a more granular level at what was happening to young people in the virtual space. And through that process of hearings, and then the Instagram hearing was really quite pivotal in this, and finding out what young people are being exposed to in that virtual space led us to drafting and pushing forward the Kids Online Safety Act. And the fact that as we did those hearings, as we held those hearings, we heard from people who said, I want to tell you my story. And then to see people come together and say, yes, we can find a way to do this and a way to make it happen. That is something so vitally important to the legislative process. Now, as Tracy said, Congress has not passed a bill. A law has not been signed since 1998 to protect our children in the virtual space. Over that 25 years, a lot has changed, and we all know that. And we have seen some of the negative effects that this has brought. So COSA is close to the finish line. We look forward to that vote this week, and we look forward to being able to move this over to the House for a speedy consideration and passage on the House floor. So thank you all
for taking your time to be here with us today, and we will open the floor and take a few questions.
Any questions?
Thank you so much for a few questions. Our senators going to have to cut out very soon. Yes.
Have you talked to Speaker Johnson about the bill?
We have had conversations with our House colleagues. We know that Congressman Bill Baucus and Congresswoman Castor are hard at work on this. We have visited with House leadership. We look forward to them moving it forward very soon.
I've had conversations with colleagues on the House side. I'm not going to say who exactly, but I'm hopeful that moving forward. But that's a part of the journey that any bill.
Looking a little further ahead, do you guys expect legal challenges from tech companies over this legislation?
We've really carefully crafted this bill to take account of any potential challenges. I pride myself a little bit on being a lawyer and a litigator. Most of my career was spent in courtroom. I think this bill is constitutionally bulletproof. I think that legal challenges are always possible. Courthouse doors are open to everyone, but nothing here will stop it legally from taking effect, in my opinion.
Judiciary has a package of bills on child and safety. Senator Cruz and Senator Schatz have legislation as well. When you say clean and fast passing, you're saying you don't want to see those added on to this package.
Well, we should give credit to Senator Cruz and Senator Cantwell for their help and leadership. My hope is that we will have no amendments. That's a hope. I can tell you we've had conversations, numerous discussions over months with colleagues in the Senate about their suggestions and their criticisms, and we've taken account of them, and our hope is there will be no amendments.
What are the final hang-ups that you see on the House side? What are the final criticisms? You've been so good so far about incorporating what you've heard from your colleagues.
I think a strong vote in the Senate helps to move